My name is Brent Harris. I've been coming to the Nature Center for, a few decades now, off and on, probably more recently in the last year or so as I've been putting this show together. I really appreciate the Nature Center and everything it does. It really fills me. I enjoy the trails. I spend a lot of time in contemplation here. It's just been my go-to place. I know the last few weeks it's been so beautiful with the snow and everything, so I really enjoyed some of the trails here as well, hiking and cross-country skiing. I value nature personally. As a young man, I grew up in the country. My family was the first family to settle into the area that I grew up in, Belleville, the first black family. So I grew up in the country, and I know just wandering in nature has been the way I found peace. It's the way I found comfort growing up, especially as a young creative. And I think growing up as a black man, as a young black man in rural America, I was the only brown face. So oftentimes when I go out in nature, that's where I really felt comfortable. That's where I found my people, and that was in nature. And personally, my family, I know never felt disconnected from the natural world. I know my family, for example, in the 50s, it was my grandparents and their 5 children, and they would load them up in the station wagon with a canvas tent on top, and they traveled across the country, which was unheard of at the time. It was really difficult for them, I know, finding places that were safe to stay, because I know they were threatened. I know they got physically threatened with violence in places where they wanted to stay. And I remember those stories since I was young. My grandfather kept a gun under his front seat, just to keep his family safe, but they wouldn't be deterred. And that's the way I feel about this natural world. I feel like it's for all of us, and it's for me. And that's stuck with me my whole life. And I know personally, like when I go, I enjoy a lot of outdoor activities. I mountain bike, I cycle, I mountain bike, I kayak and cross-country ski. So being outdoors is a really deep part of how I let go and how I enjoy my world. And I know that's difficult for a lot of people like me, because we just don't feel safe. It's sometimes you're isolated. You're camping, you're out in the country, and sometimes you get to that trailhead. You don't know what's waiting for you. And I've had some pretty scary experiences, but it's important, I think, for people of color to really sort of take this space back. So, yeah, that's how I feel about that. I do feel that the Nature Center is a safe place, a safe space for myself and our community. One thing that I know is every time I come here, I feel welcome. I feel quiet. I feel cared for. Some places around here, maybe not as much. I'll still take my chances, what have you. But here, the way they engage with the community here, the way they make us feel, it feels right. It feels intentional, and that's why I keep coming back here. Especially in the last year or two, this has been a place I think where tensions have been so high, and I feel like I personally, and I think a lot of us have really started to disconnect from the things that aren't really serving us, and really finding space in the natural world. And this is one of those spaces.